put false.
Yes.
But the thing is, like when I searched it in the
Mm,
uh, ChatGPT,
mm,
ChatGPT, and in one of the Microsoft site, not Microsoft site, the exams that somebody has given are
mm,
uh, captured in the YouTube.
mm,
They also mentioned like accuracy is not only the factor. There are some other factors also
mm,
to be
mm.
considered. That's what they are telling. But
Actually,
I,
see, model evaluation. Give me a second. So give me a second, 1 second.
yeah, sure.
So when it comes to the evaluation, when we see the classification module, right? So there are like different metrics which are present to measure it, like reported when evaluating the binary classification model, like accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, AUC. All these parameters will be measuring this um,
Binary.
classification modules which is there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that way, if we consider, so it is like false actually. It is not the only model which is going to be measured actually. So, yeah,
Okay.
means when I saw this particular from the outside, so there actually it was given it as a true only, but means it is the only model as such. So, but when I like here, if you can see evaluation models are there, right? So these are all the metrics reported when evaluating the binary classification models. So we'll be
Yeah.
having accuracy, precision, recall, F1 score, and AUC.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
these are the regression models. This can you did you get some notes or something at least
yeah.
related to these three models?
I have highlighted yeah, all these points. I mean the
Still you
matrices.
will do
Uh,
this?
I mean since I have less time, Mamta,
Okay.
I try to understand initially,
Uh,
but
mm,
if I'm I mean if there is no time, why? Because even parallel my office work is also going on. So
mm,
I thought like okay, I have a digital what I can say slate.
mm, 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 mm.
The digital slate I will write and I will mug up.
Okay, okay, understood. No problem. Yeah, that you can just have somewhere like uh,
Uh, I have taken up those in a PDF, Mamta.
okay,
So
yeah,
and it is available in my number WhatsApp.
okay, okay, sure. So which one you had taken PDF?
I mean this what I can say, the matrices, each matrix. So I
Mm-hmm.
pasted in the document and I just converted into PDF and I kept that one
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, got it, got it. So that you can take it for the reference and go, right?
reference. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow, if you wanted to check something, you can just check it today only if you wanted to retake any of the tests like that. But don't get much confused. So tomorrow you can go, you don't take any of the uh, assessment tomorrow. Okay. So you just
Yeah.
go aramse and take up your exam.
Yeah, sure, Mamta. Even I tried today again. It is 94. This is not good actually. 96
It
yesterday
is
I got.
good only. Yeah. 96 where you got
96 in the Microsoft site, Mamta.
assessment there.
Assessment. Yeah.
Actually, that I don't believe because
Yeah,
the
actually
questions are
uh,
repeated, right?
the one which
Means
you
it
gave
is
and
good. Hmm.
totally different.
Yeah, actually, what happens is even like, see, this is not always true, uh, Nazim. Like, see, few questions to analyze and all, you will get the format only. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like here, the applied questions and all not matching actually with the real one. So if, and also the questions, if you just solve 4 times, if you can remember, the
Yes.
next time you can do it around without 100 after 100 also you can get it, because the questions are repeating actually.
Repeating. Yes. True.
Yeah.
Sometimes he will shuffle one or two questions he will get,
Yes.
but it is
Mm.
something like misleading actually. If he's not at least giving from Microsoft side at
Mm.
least 10 or 20 questions out of 40 or something.
Mm.
Uh,
It is just
some,
to like kind of skills test only, not actually the similar kind of questions we'll get. So even like I, some of my teammate told that if you get here 80%, you can easily clear as such. So what I've done is, when I was doing admin module, right? So I
yeah.
just went like, okay, now I am getting 90 plus, because I solved it 4 to 5 times. So I can
Yeah.
remember the question. So next time when I was solving, okay, I was getting 90 plus. So I thought, okay, I can do take it up. When I took, I got around 400.
Oh,
Because it's kind of, see, these are all fundamentals. Like when you talk
yes.
about the AZ and AI fundamentals, so this is like only the concepts wise. So they can bring anywhere actually. And if you have solved a lot of dumps, you can go and just do it. For this, there is no much detailed implementation level knowledge is not required actually. But
Okay.
when you will go further, like apart from the fundamentals, if you are doing any devops one, so admin one, if you are trying to do any of the associate level one from the artificial intelligence as well, so for that it requires the practical implementation knowledge. So there we require, like in the real time we have to implement it, then only we'll get that exposure. So how the questions will be, they will give you a scenario, okay, we are implementing this one. And even when in the admin also, like we have this subnet one and we have this subnet two. So we have this application gateway. So NLP, we, I mean, NPS, we had developed this. Now if you wanted to communicate from the external side, okay, or if you wanted to ping from the other side, so how exactly you will be doing, and also like which subnet you will be enabling for the public access. Or else, like if you are having storage account, like how, which storage account access you will be giving. So in depth, in the real time, how exactly we'll be doing the configurations, right? So they'll be asking at that level, and also completely based on the implementation level, that
Yeah.
requires more practical knowledge.
True. True, Mamta. My brother has completed associate and also he completed professional AWS solution architect professional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's like totally isolate. I mean, according to he is not working in a project, but the company basically forced him to have that certification. And
Mm-hmm.
professional associate itself is bit tricky, as you are mentioning. Now
Yes,
he
yes.
completed professional.
Profit, see, that is the reason, like as you go higher and higher, it requires your complete skills. So if you are skilled, then only you can do that. If you are not a skill, if you are not able to analyze what exactly they were asking, then you can't do that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, so we'll just quickly go about the generative AI which is there. So this is like more about the OpenAI, so which we'll be taking. So related to the portal, when we know we navigate here. So it is like completely about building our own. So this is an example for where exactly we can build applications such as ChatGPT. So for that, internally, the OpenAI is the one which will be working, means OpenAI APIs which are present. So we'll be working on that. So these, whatever the generative AI will call, so that basically describes like any AI module. So which will be having the original content which will help to that by using that content it will try to interact with the people who actually requires the knowledge as such. And one good thing is like whenever we are deploying this generative AI module, so it takes NLP, okay, so as an input, and it gives us appropriate response, like the response which we'll be getting. So it might be in the form of any text format, or it might be in the image format, or if it might be in the form of video. So whatever the knowledge base that we are creating, the reference that we are creating, so based on that it will be generating the required informations for us, okay. So here to use this generative AI, so it will be providing the in the Azure, so we can try to use the Azure OpenAI service.
Okay.
So we can try to create the Azure OpenAI service which is required for us. So this OpenAI service which there, it supports basically four different models actually. So in these models we have one is GPT-4 model. Okay. So when
Yeah.
we and also we have GPT 3.5 model, then embeddings model, and doll E models. Okay, these are the different models which we are having. So kind of each will be having different types of the processing internally which is going to take it up. So when we talk about here doll E model, so they are used basically to generate the so image based NLP prompts if I want. So to generate that we'll be using the doll um, E models. And
Okay.
whenever we are talking about the embeddings models, so basically we'll use whenever we wanted to convert text into the different form of numeric vectors. So during that time, we'll be using that. So in the GPT 3.5 models, so it will just use uh, like just the language prompts if I wanted to create. So for that, we'll be using. So, and whenever we are using GPT-4 models, so these are the latest one which we can use it. So if I wanted to use any of the pre-trained GPT models, if I wanted to require, wherein I can use any of my uh, chatbot implementation and all. So during that time, we can try to use it. Here we can try to create a resource.
Okay.
So we need to request for the Azure OpenAI services. So in the Azure, like for all the services, we don't get all the means for all the whatever the subscription type that we are having. So we are not able to create all the services. So there will be a specific quota which is available. So whenever I am not having, so we can try to request to get that services access for our subscription. So during once we submit that request, so we can try to get it. Even like whenever we are using like DevOps board and all. So if I wanted to achieve any parallel runs and all, so there is a restricted quota. So by a request, we can try to get that particular access over here. And here it is
Okay.
saying that whenever we try to create this Azure OpenAI, so this will be having based on the GPT-4 3 models. So these models have been pre-trained with trillions of words and can easily adapt to your scenarios with a few short examples provided at the inferences. Okay, means by inbuilt it will be having lot of the analysis of the text which we are going to the formats, the question formats which we are going to have. So to analyze that, it will be having a pre-trained a kind of a model which will be present. So once here if we are done with that, we can just provide different types of the tools which I wanted to adapt. So based on that, we can try to create our own model which I require. So another one, this service if I wanted to use, so we can use from the Azure AI Studio as well. So
Okay.
let me just try with this Azure AI Studio. AI. Can you hear me, Nazim?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you, Mamta.
Tomorrow, what time you will be starting to your exam?
Uh, it's Kormangala fifth block, if I'm not wrong. It's, I mean, 10 o'clock I'm planning to start, Mamta, actually.
Okay,
I, traffic, no idea how it will be. So,
that is correct. See, here we got the kind of a URL, so which we can try to use for the OpenAI. So from here we
okay.
can try to use this. I mean, so by using this OpenAI API, right? So we can
Yes.
try to build our own model as well. So for that, so we need to create, like usually when we are deploying, so we have to create the first knowledge base as well, kind of question, and by using a specific question and make a question and answers, like kind of responses that I want. So I need to create the document which it has to refer to work as a reference document. And then we have to define in NLP also there are different services, because it has to take the data in the form of NLP format only. So which service we have to enable for NLP. So with that tools, so we need, there are certain prerequisite tools. So by using that we need to create the image actually. And when we are creating the Docker image, there only we need to provide the source as well, like, so the API, OpenAI API and authentication key, we need to mention it. So where exactly we can try to connect with this API to perform the required analysis on that. So then we can try to host it into the Azure Kubernetes cluster, where exactly it can work as a the model which is going to give me the output. So first, if I create that image also, if I deploy it, so until and unless we don't have the UI view, so we can try to work with the APIs only. Because when
Okay.
when we deploy that into the AKS cluster, it generate the endpoint, right? So by
Yes.
using those endpoints, so we can try to interact with our model which we develop. So once it is good, so then we can try to so UI view whenever I wanted to give, so I can try to provide the UI view as well for that. Okay, so as
One
such. Mm,
want to just reiterate, by that I can correct my understanding.
mm,
So we will create a model, and under that model, we give this endpoint and key,
mm,
and that model will deploy on the Kubernetes cluster, and that model definitely will have the again
endpoint.
endpoint and key. We when we via Postman or something, we when we try to give some search, actually text search, or
Mm.
some information we want,
Yeah, so
once we
whenever
give the
we
prompt,
yes.
the the prompt will it talks to model first, and the model internally will talks to this OpenAI.
Mm.
It happens like that flow,
Yes,
Mamta?
so it's like, yeah. So first, actually, what happened is we need to, whenever we have to set up our own Docker image.
Okay.
So if we have to, based on my knowledge actually, because we recently worked by using GCP, one of the AI
Okay.
model which we are having to develop the ChatGPT. So here to interact, so we will be using NLP tools as well and certain vector database as well. So like a few database where exactly the data formatting we need to define how exactly it should be doing. And then the services like OpenAI, like this is OpenAI from for the ChatGPT model to implement. So from the Azure we'll be getting OpenAI as, okay, as an API, like where exactly you can create your own ChatGPT model. So in the
Okay.
same way, to generate the from other Google and all, so we'll be getting other services which we can try to implement it.
Yeah.
So once we are we need to develop a simple code will be present, okay, while creating the Docker image. So we need to write a simple code, so where exactly all these tools will be integrated. And once it is integrated, we can have like how exactly they should communicate with each other, kind of we are going to create for with that code, so the base image.
Okay, Docker compose
Hmm,
file something, I
yes,
think.
yes, yeah. We need to have the Docker Compose file as well, like where exactly we are going to specify what are all the uh, steps that we are going to perform, tasks that we are going to
Okay.
call, tools that we are going to use, versions and all. So with
Okay.
that, like we once our image is ready, so we can try to push that image, and then we can try to deploy that into the AWS cluster, like Azure Kubernetes cluster, we can try to have it. So once we deploy it, so it will generate the endpoint. So by using that endpoint, we can try to mimic using the, like once it created the endpoint, so we need to provide all the authentication and all. So for that particular endpoint to access, then via providing the specific, whenever I wanted to try, so I can just provide specific questions and I can try to get the output in the form of responses.
Okay.
So we are going to send it as in the form of body, right? Like once we send when our questions which we wanted to ask in the form of body, so we can get back the response. So after that, we, if I want, so we can try to develop the UI platform as well. So that UI platform basically it will use the UI code, and then to get UI is like where exactly we can try to have our own model UI
Yeah,
base,
chart.
or else
Yeah.
we can create a specific web page as well to interact that. So via that web page URL, so we can try to interact with our model which we had been developed.
Yeah. OpenAI itself is a, I mean, as it is already having GPT, OpenAI can take our input
Actually, when
question.
you, yes, like see, OpenAI is the one, the API which is working behind the ChatGPT.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we want to develop our own, see, it is like it has its own search capabilities. So when you wanted to search something, you can go there, you can have it. So when you wanted to build an from for your organization, like where
Yeah.
exactly you wanted to build a kind of chat GPT, where exactly it should answer all your the organization related queries. So during that time, you can get that open AI and you can build your own chat GPT to answer the specific questions as well.
Actually, it is there. That's the reason I was like curious to know that part. So yeah.
Hmm?
No, no. Actually, that's the scenario that you have told. It's there in place in our organization. They are
Okay.
having their own
Mm.
interface. Uh,
Yes, yes. So
something.
here also we had recently have one interface actually. So apart from that, like business is expecting more kind of like that. See, so like we are working for the US tax domain. So basically with our application we had developed like wherein if you go to that, it has used some reference document. So in that reference document we had provided all the questions related to the tax formation one. Okay, so whatever it is there, if I wanted to get anything, so we can go and directly we can get that input for the end users and all. So
Okay.
but like in the same way the business is asking, okay, so what else if I'll be, they are doing some POCs kind of cost analysis, like when from other AI, if I'll be using the other tools, like what exactly the cost savings, and also when we use the different platform, different cloud providers AI models when we are using, so what are the different associated tools we have to implement, how the response is, like that they were comparing with the 2 to 3 different cloud providers AI models. So in that way they wanted to analyze the cost and they wanted to provide the input for the business actually.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
So you complete your certification. Actually, I'm also planning to do something, like if I can do something, I can just show you how exactly it is going to work actually. It doesn't
Okay,
take much effort. As per my knowledge, it will take, if you can sit, you can develop your own model it within 3 to 4 days actually. So there will be ready tools, and there are certain code templates as well, simple code templates. And if you have your knowledge base, means if you have your, for which, based on which reference you wanted to build your own model, so with that you can take the reference code and you can try to implement and deploy it, so that you can validate like how accurately your model is providing the output as such. um, yeah.
sure, sure, Mamta.
Okay. Yeah. So you have any questions?
No, Mamta, for now, we can continue. Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to go through. Mm, what is
Actually,
happening?
there are a lot of certifications in chain after this, Mamta, to be open with you. Actually,
Okay.
companies forcing that, so they want to showcase the customers, whoever
Mm-hmm.
need our service actually.
Okay,
So there are a lot of,
what are all planned?
it's something like how many resources are there in the company who has
Who has done the
latest
certification?
latest certification, include AI or yeah, Azure 900 also actually. Even
Okay.
that is there, and
If you are
associate.
taking AZ 900, let me know. I can tell.
Sure, definitely, Mamta.
Yeah.
Since this is the first thing they are behind us, and once this completes, right, Mamta,
Mm.
they will fall. I mean, there is an, I told, right, AWS is also there in our queue,
Okay.
associate. I
Mm-hmm.
like government, how many will
It is
I
tough
mean, for us
actually if you
developers,
want.
not required
Actually,
that.
one
Mm,
thing is like, if you are like, if you are able to do this one thing, if you learn from the scratch, right? One
mm,
cloud platform, so you
mm.
can go and do easily the other platforms actually.
Other
It is very
platforms.
easy, yeah. But you need some time to understand because you are working professional. You need to take out some time as well, right?
True, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, so we'll just try to solve this. So, what are large language models? So, there are like certain means when we are developing the ChatGPT type of tools, right? So, we'll be using LLMs. So, it's kind of called as the large language models,
Models.
LLM, which are present. Okay, so these LLMs inside that they will be using this deep learning process, means, and also like kind of NLP. Usually NLP itself, it uses the deep learning, so which is going to analyze the large amount of the data. The
Okay.
calculation means usually predict what exactly the user is expecting. Okay, kind of to mimic like whatever you are asking, it should able to analyze the intent actually. So when we use certain words, it will be having different meanings, right? The words.
Mm,
But when you make it as a phrase, so it different phrases will give you the different context, correct?
yes.
So the deep learning is the tool where exactly it can able to predict the what exactly you are going to ask from your the phrase which you are going to make it. Okay, so here these LLMs which we are going to take as part, this is, these are like kind of a SDKs which we can try to use it when we are developing OpenAI kind of a tools. So these when we talk, when we check here, the models that only work with one language, it doesn't mean that that only work with small amounts of the data, that is not the one. So models that use deep learning to
Language.
process and understand natural language on a massive scale.
Massive
Okay,
scale. Okay.
so what is an example of a potential task a generative AI application can help to solve? This you can try it out.
Okay. Yeah, it's last one only, I think. Collecting real-time data and storing the monitoring the temperature in a
So it is like generative
in
applications help solve. So it is going to solve certain issues. So monitoring the temperature in a manufacturing
no.
facility. So it can't
It,
monitor. Uh, like
it,
only it can give you the response. It's not keeping like, okay, send an alert. Okay, it is the it is high, it is low, like that. So
mm,
creating a draft for an email. This you
no.
can do, right?
We can do this one actually. Yes, it
Yeah, so you
gives.
can ask like how to create the email draft when you are taking off and all, right? So
Mm.
collecting real time data and storing it in a database. Is it can be done by generative AI?
Via
Like if you go to
QA,
ChatGPT,
Q,
okay, if you
Q&A. Like,
ask what is today's weather, can you please update into my Office DB? Does it do?
no, as of now, it
No.
is read only.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it
it,
is
yeah, yeah,
the existing data which is pre-stored what is there. So only it can provide you the expected answers based on that, right?
it only fetches. Yeah.
Yes. So whenever you get any generative AI related questions, you can try to analyze, compare with the ChatGPT.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what is the purpose of vector based embeddings they are telling? So when we talk about vector based embeddings when we are talking, so here like they basically kind of a data structuring. Okay, different formats which I want. So here like whatever the elements that we are going to take, different types of the data we are going to have, so that is going to have certain kind of in a map. It will store it in the form of different types of the representation, the different types of like database will store the data, right? In the same way, in different formats it will try to store our data actually. So I'll give you
Okay.
some links related to the vector based embeddings and some tools which help you to create these embeddings actually. With that you will get to know. So
Okay.
to represent, these are all when you are developing any OpenAI based model. So we'll be using these resources actually, and there are multiple resources. See, it's kind of when we talk about AI, it is very vast. Like if you want to achieve a simple service as well, there are multiple other services which will be working, and behind that, the again other services which will be supporting that. So when we talk here AI model, NLP is the NLP, like this is the one of the service which is supporting. So when you talk about NLP, internally there are multiple services which are supporting to achieve the NLP, correct? So as
Yeah.
such, it is dependent more. So here when we talk, so to represent semantic meanings of a text tokens. Uh, so this is where we use
Vector-based embeddings.
no
Embeddings is
no
one of the model that you have told in the OpenAI
one of the
chat
service
service
which is
embedding.
used to use the whenever we'll be having multiple data to store in a specific format we'll be using. So here, if we start solving this, so to represent semantic meaning of a text token, see it doesn't like whenever we talk about this one. So if I wanted to map with the whatever the tokens that we'll be getting, so for that to this is just used for matching the specific meaning with the whatever the text is given. So this is a main uh, aim of vector based embeddings which we are going to use it.
Okay.
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 So then what is the potential impact of the co-pilots? So here, so whenever we talk about the co-pilots here in the whenever we are building any of the chat gpt models, right? So during that time we'll be using, so they will be uh, uh, like usually these services we are going to integrate with the other applications, and whenever we are trying to complete specific task in the generative model to support that we'll be using. Okay, and it is emerging from the llms model. Okay, so whenever we are using llm, so from that one of the category to compute the specific data, so one of the service we'll be using is copilots. So by using this will be we can integrate this with our models which we are going to build to perform this specific task internally. Okay.
Okay. So B is the answer for this one. Help with the first drafts, information synthesis, strategic planning, and much more.
Hmm?
I mean, B is the answer for this one, Mamta. Copilots will help with first drafts,
Yeah.
information synthesis, strategic. Okay. So, okay.
So so it is only impact applications used in professional settings. So copilots only impact applications used in professional setting, can help with first draft information synthesis, strategic planning, and much more. Copilots can only be used for certain natural language tasks like summarizing the text. So they'll not summarize the text which it is present. And whenever we are using, so this one, it is not only whatever the copilots we will be using, they not only use only for the professional settings, they'll be using to draft certain information synthesis and all, they'll be using internally.
Okay.
You can try to check it. Yeah. So these are revolutionized way to we work. Yeah. Let
Oh,
us go back to the next one. Tomorrow morning you wanted to connect once again before you go, or
what do
you're,
you think, Mamta?
I feel you can do that. It's
Okay,
not required.
then I will just go through the test that you have gave, that
Mm,
questions, all
yeah.
the tests,
You
and
will just revise it, whatever the questions are present. So with that, you can aram say, you can go and take it up. No need to worry much.
yeah, these type of questions that on the screen that are visible, these type of questions hasn't come in the test also Microsoft, but in
No, they are
specific
not coming
knowledge check,
actually. Mm,
they are giving in specific knowledge check those questions. Uh, they are only two knowledge check points only. They are not coming
yes.
as a practice test.
No, they're not coming. And even in the exam also, you can't see these kind of a questions. I haven't seen that
Oh,
actually.
oh,
Like
okay,
these are like just to check like how exactly whatever the
understood.
concept that they have, and also there is no questions on the LLM and all. I had seen with OpenAI, okay,
Hmm,
so
okay,
but not related to the LLM and all we got.
okay,
Okay, so this is the Azure OpenAI services when we talk. So this is like how to use, understand OpenAI's NL capabilities. This implementation level which is there, and one OpenAI access and responsible AI policies. As per this, we studied about the different principles, right? When we are
responsible AI. Yeah,
yes. So when you are trying to build any OpenAI model as well, so we should consider these six AI principles as well. Okay,
okay,
so that is what you meant by like OpenAI's access and responsible AI policies. So that you will get based on this the application level questions. Like, so when you are building this OpenAI, like what are the principles that you are going to consider in your mind? So as
okay,
such, you will be getting the question. So this is this concept also like that only. So responsible generative AI. So when you talk about that, so when you are building any particular model, so what is the plan to build the responsible AI? So here, so when we are building any model, so we should identify all the potential harms which are related to our solution. So we have to measure the presence of these harms in the outputs generated by our solution. So mitigate the harm and operate. Usually, like example, when we are trying to you take the chat gpt kind of application you are going to build for your organization. So how do you consider this is safe? Because when you are building it, the first thing as soon as you're done, we need to just try to identify so whether it is going to leak, because when we provide at the organization level, it should not leak any of the potential informations which is there. Means it
yeah,
should able to maintain the privacy. So and also if any sensitive information is there, it should not leak. So like that, there are different factors we need to consider related to the security issues. Okay, so it should be accessed by only authorized person. Okay, so and also it should give everyone who is accessing inside the organizations irrespective of their roles, so it should able to respond actually. So but if you are internally implementing with a specific role, so during that time you may not be getting the link, but apart from that you should able to respond, access that one during that time. So when we are developing this AI model, so like we should able to find out first all the specific, we need to identify which are all the areas it may cause harm related to the sensitive information and all. Then I need to measure the presence of this harm, like how much harmful it is if I get this particular output. Then I should find out how exactly I can try to uh,
Mitigate.
means solve this particular issues which we are going to get, and then I need to operate on this. So it's kind of, we need to identify, measure, mitigate, and operate on the issues which we'll be getting it. So here,
Okay.
to identify the potential harms, so what are the steps that you are going to take it? So first we need to like we need to check, okay, we can just use the generative content, and so we need to find out what are the different areas that we are going to get the errors. So then we need to prioritize identified arms. So after that, I need to retest it, okay, and verify whether it is prioritized is as expected or not. Then I need to document and share that verification verified harms which are present. So these are the four different steps that I can try to do to identify. When I'm identifying, so we need to prioritize that. Again, I need to test it. So then I need to document it.
Okay.
So when I'm doing the when I'm measuring these potential arms, like we have to follow how exactly I'm going to do this. So we need to test. So measure in the sense we need to identify how much impact it is going to cause. So for that, so we are going to use certain tactics, like where exactly we can do manually and automatic testing we can try to do, and we can try to evaluate the set of inputs to ensure test results are consistent and it is as expected, like that.
Okay.
So measure the, these are the three different steps they're telling. Prepare a diverse selection of inputs prompts, like actually example when we take it, right? So when we are testing one of the model, so what was happening, if you had developed the model, so if you ask specific question, right, if you have, suppose let's assume you have to create a report, okay. So if you ask, prepare a report, okay, so
Okay.
like XYZ report, it will give it. If you say that XYZ report how to prepare, it will not give you the answer. Means user can form the question in any format, right? So
Yes.
during that time, if it is not able to achieve the user expectations, if it is not able to analyze, it is also kind of a like it is not able to achieve whatever we are expecting it. So one,
Okay.
these are all different types of the drawbacks actually. So we can try to find out, okay, so if we can identify this is one of the harm that we are having. So then we need to start testing that one with different inputs by taking diverse inputs, okay. And then we can try to get the output for various inputs that I'm going to give. Then I can try to predefined criteria to evaluate, okay, so these are the criteria that I can use to evaluate that this is the different approaches that we can try to test it that particular model. So then mitigate potential harms, like it's kind of how exactly you are going to resolve that particular harms, how from where exactly you're trying to resolve. So basically it will be coming from the model. First you should do changes at the model level, so then the safety system, and then meta prompt and grounding where exactly we are using, then user experience, okay. So what are these particular layers actually represent, here it is mentioned.
Okay.
So then operate a responsible generative AI solutions. So these are like whenever we are using once we are ready with our solution, right? So what are the steps to take it into the user experience? Okay. So we need to consider different reviews actually. So we need to understand legal, privacy, security, and accessibility. These are the four principles which we need to take care when I'll be reviewing it.
Okay.
So here, um, whenever we say successful release of our model, so we need to consider these different phases actually. Okay,
Oh, okay.
you go through these ones.
Okay.
I'll share you this link. So this is like explore content filters in the Azure OpenAI whenever we are just trying to do OpenAI models. So I can try to explore it.
Okay.
it is not much required. Like the question will be coming usually in the form of like when you are developing a specific AI model, right? So how
Okay.
exactly you're going to build your what are the safety criterias that you will be mentioning. I think
Okay.
from the questions that I shared, there is no much related to this responsible generative AI, right?
Yes. I mean, I haven't got much questions on this part.
Yes. Even I haven't checked from the assessment as well. Like one is related to the AI models, like different versions that we are having, will be getting the latest version, which is like that. So apart from
Okay.
that, I didn't see anything. Okay. So here they are asking, the first one is, so why should you consider creating an AI impact assessment when designing a generative solution? So what does it mean actually?
Creating
So
an
why
AI.
exactly we should do AI impact assessment when designing a generative AI solutions? So this is, we need to do this because we have to define the document. We need to document here the purpose of the building, expected use of that particular model, and what are the potential harms for that particular solution we are going to do. So these are the outcomes when we do the impact assessment. Okay, that is the reason we supposed to do that. Okay.
Purpose, experience,
So
potential.
this will help initially only to identify the potential arms in our system.
Okay.
Okay, this is how usually we can, if we give this, this is going to help the business as well. So what
Okay.
capability of Azure OpenAI service helps mitigate harmful content generations at the safety system level? So here, uh, whatever, when we talk about the safety system level, they'll try to filter the specific content for the specific users or specific kind of the users only. We can try to filter it. So by using this safety principle, we can try to mitigate some of the harmful uh, issues which we are going to cause. So then
Okay.
why should you consider a phased delivery plan for your generative AI solution? So whenever we are having a generative AI solution, why should you consider a phased delivery plan? Like we will be not delivering completely together, so we'll just go with the phased delivery. Like usually, what we'll do, whenever we'll be having initial releases, we'll restrict to the specific users. Then
Okay. Yeah.
to make sure that if any harm is present, it is not going to reflect it to the everyone. So once
Yeah.
we gather the feedback from the limited users, then we'll try to distribute to the all the users. As such, we'll be working when as part of this delivery plan. So for that, we can use, yeah, to enable you
Yeah.
gather feedback and identify issues before releasing the solution more broadly. We'll be using this.
Yeah. Mamta,
Okay.
I think somebody is pinging for meeting right
Sure,
away.
sure. Yeah, no
And,
problem. We are done actually. I
okay.
will give you this particular link. So once you read this link, Nazim,
Yeah.
with that will be good. So we'll connect after your test tomorrow.
Sure. Sure,
Once you get
Mamta.
free, you can just let me know how was your exam experience.
Yeah,
Because
definitely,
even
Mamta.
offline, I don't have any idea. And also, just have a look. So you can see here, right? You
Yeah.
can just go to the machine learning fundamental principle. It is having more weightage, others
Yeah.
are having less weightage. Okay, so in that way you can try to concentrate. So before, don't forget, before you end today, so you try to go
Okay.
through this link once, and others tomorrow you can try to revise it.
Sure. Sure, Mamta. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you so much, Nazim.
thanks. Thanks, Mamta. I thought, what is I supposed to ask? That's fine, Mamta. I will ping
Sure,
Mamta.
you can ping me. Yeah, thank you so much, Nazim.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
bye.
Bye. Bye.